Listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today for an Idaho Gives webinar for participating nonprofits. We're going to give everybody a second to sign in, and then we'll jump into the training for today. Okay, I'm going to get started for today. Thank you all for joining us. It's my pleasure to run this training webinar today. My name is Jordan Brown. I'm the NPO Partnerships Coordinator for Razoo.com. Razoo.com partners with the Idaho Nonprofit Center to have Idaho Gives Day on May 1st. We are their technology provider. If at any time in the future you have questions about this training webinar or any other giving event questions or questions about using your page, please feel free to reach out to myself or any other customer support representatives at support@razoo.com. Make sure also to follow us on Twitter. We are constantly putting out a bunch of new training materials, as well as interesting articles about online fundraising for nonprofits. We also encourage you to follow us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/RazooGiving. Today's agenda. Today we're going to take about an hour to go over, of course, who is Razoo, how to create your page for Idaho Gives on May 1st, some online fundraising tips and tricks, and talking a bit of strategy about Idaho Gives before the event. As I said, this training is going to take about an hour. We've scheduled for another half an hour of questions. I'm going to pause after I get through the Create Your Page tutorial, and I'll ask for people to type in questions at that time. You can type in questions in the GoToWebinar control panel under the section that says Questions. Who is Razoo? As I stated before, Razoo is the technology provider for Idaho Gives, and it's a crowdfunding website year-round for nonprofits and causes. We have 27,000 active nonprofits on our website currently, and with the help of our nonprofits and fundraisers, we've raised over $200 million on the platform. There's over 84,000 active fundraiser pages on the platform currently, and we've raised over 1.3 million donations totaled. I'm going to now take you to the Idaho Gives event site, and we're going to go over a live demonstration of what you can do to prepare for the event day. This is IdahoGives.razoo.com. This is the event site where you'll go to start by registering and where people will donate on May 1st. The first step I'm going to take you through is the actual registration process. It's a two-step process set up by the Idaho Nonprofit Center. Where you can find detailed information about registering is in the Nonprofit Toolkit. So let's go ahead and click there. Idaho Nonprofit Center has done a great job at giving you a ton of resources in the Nonprofit Toolkit that will help you get registered, as well as be a successful online fundraiser for this event. In the Join Us section, it outlines in detail the 2 steps you have to take to register for IdahoGives. Your first step is to register with the Idaho Nonprofit Center. By clicking on the Idaho Nonprofit Center link, it's going to take you to their page where they give you a step-by-step instructions for registering for the event. Once this step is complete, they'll communicate with you to ensure that that registering with INC is complete. Your next step, as I navigate back to the Nonprofit Toolkit, is to activate your nonprofit page. So once you're registered with INC, you'll want to activate your nonprofit page. There's a big nonprofit activation button right on top here. As you can see, at this point, I'm not signed into a user account, and I don't have any donations in my basket. I'm starting fresh so you guys can understand better the onboarding process. If you're a returning nonprofit and you already have a user account and access to your organization page, you won't need to go through the nonprofit activation section. But if you're a new Idaho nonprofit that wants to participate this year, your next step is to click Nonprofit Activation. First, it's going to prompt me to log in. And that's because in order for us to grant you activation to your nonprofit page, you need to create a user account. I already have a user account, so I'm just going to log into my user account now. Here's a brief explanation of the form you're going to fill out. And this form will go directly to the customer support team at Razoo. What we'll do is we'll look over your form information and we'll see that you have selected to be a part of IdahoGives. It's important that you select IdahoGives at the bottom of this form as the last step to completing this form. After all your nonprofit information is filled out and you hit submit, that form will come to us and we'll process it and grant you access to your nonprofit page. In order to participate in IdahoGives, you must be a 501c3 registered nonprofit. All nonprofits that are registered as 501c3 organizations are already in the Razoo database. In the rare case that your organization is not already in the Razoo database, we'll ask you to send us your IRS letter of determination. So have that on hand for this process. It's also important to know your Employee Identification Number, or EIN. This is your organization's 9-digit federal tax ID number. This is going to help us identify you in the system when you fill out this form, and it's also going to help us correctly grant you the ability to participate in IdahoGives. Let's now go back to the main site. And again, if you ever have questions about registering in the future, you can reach out to support@razoo.com. But INC has been great enough to, in the Nonprofit Toolkit, outline all of the registration steps for you. Once you're registered and you have access to your organization page, your first step always when coming to idahogives.razoo.com is to sign into your user account. And again, if I log out here and log in, it's going to show my user account at the upper right-hand corner. And once I'm granted access to my organization page, you'll see my organization appear at the upper right-hand corner as well. When you click on My Organization, it's going to take you directly to your organization page. So it's a good thing to remember as you're clicking around on the site if you ever want to get quickly back to your organization page. Let's now see some of the organizations that I've already registered. I'm going to click the Schedule My Donation button. That's going to take me to the preferred search for the event, which will list all of the organizations that I've already registered. Here, prior to the event, donors can search for organizations, and they can also schedule donations for the donations to occur on May 1st. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Idaho Black Bear Rehab Incorporated. It looks like they've done a great job at setting up their page. I'll give you guys a quick view. As you can see, this is the videos and images section. On the right-hand side is where donors would go to donate. Below the images and video is the picture section. On the right-hand side, there's a prompt if anybody wants to collect donations from their Facebook, they can put a widget on there from this box. Below the Facebook widget box is a Get Started button. That allows anybody to connect a fundraiser page to your organization page and raise funds on your behalf. Below that, you'll see a comment section, as well as a fans section for people who really love your cause. Looks like this organization has created a subordinate project page. And of course, at the bottom of the page is the organization's basic information as it's registered with the IRS. Okay, let's take a look at McPaws Incorporated to learn how to edit and update your page for today. Currently, we're on the View tab of your organization page. This is the public view that as you go through these other tabs, the public view will be edited and updated as you save the information you change in these other tabs. Let's go now to the Edit tab, which is the first tab. I will mention that once you gain access to your organization page, if for some reason when you go to your page you don't see these tabs, it's 90% of the time because you're not logged in. So you do need to be logged into a user account in order to view, edit, and update your page. The Edit tab is where all the text content for your page is updated. There's a summary section, which is a short blurb about the activities of your organization. It's good to, in the summary section, repeat any keywords and also the name of your organization for the best possible search results. The next text box is the Tell Your Story section. We stress that it's important that your organization put some time into thinking about what your mission statement is and what you want to share with donors that are visiting your organization page. It's good to have valuable content on there and a statement not only of your mission, but why you're participating in IdahoGives. This section accepts basic HTML code. I always suggest that when you're editing and updating this section to first open a Word document and type out your story there and copy paste it here, just so you don't lose for any reason your work that you've completed. This text box can take up to 5,000 characters. Now, we suggest don't fill the whole text box. That's an overwhelming amount of information that, let's be honest, when a donor's coming, their main action item should be to donate. So think of brief blurbs that tell your nonprofit's value and mission and why they're participating in IdahoGives. The next section that's important for you as a nonprofit to set up on your organization page is the Set Your Goals section. Here you can see that McPaws has done a great job at creating suggested donation amounts. Although you don't have to suggest donation amounts, it encourages a donor to better understand where the money is going to, and also usually compels them to give a little bit more than maybe they were planning in the first place. What we offer is a basic amount or level of a suggested donation, and then a text box behind it where you can explain what that donation might be good for. For example, if you run an orphanage, maybe your first level of donation is $100 to feed 10 hungry children. Whatever your cause is, this is an opportunity for you as an organization to help the donors that are visiting your page identify with the money that they're going to be giving to your cause. I'm going to take a moment to show you where that shows up on your page. And that's right here on the right-hand sidebar, right above the big green Donate Now button. People don't have to choose your suggested donation amounts. They can also type in their own amount, and they'll be able to confirm those donations in the shopping cart, which I'll go over towards the end of this section of training. When editing and updating your page, make sure to save before navigating away. You also have the option in the Advanced Options section to edit or update your URL that's associated with your page. A word to the wise and maybe a cautionary note that if you're updating your URL, do it before you create any outreach that provides the link to your page. And that's because once you edit that URL, it will be different than what you've used to create those outreach materials. Of course, like I said, whenever you're changing anything, make sure to save at the bottom of the page. Another section that might be useful to you is the category section. This allows donors to when they're coming to the event site. Search in different categories, up to 3 categories that are associated with your cause. The next section is the images and videos section. This is a very easy and self-explanatory section, but very important for your page. We stress that you should have a handful of imagery uploaded to your event site, and if possible, videos. Videos are very important, interactive, and a great additional way for you to express your mission and to connect with your donor visiting your page. Looks like they have a video. We suggest that if you have a video, to go ahead, drop and drag it, and make it the first thing that donors see on their page. That's because it's the most interactive part of the page. They can also scroll through all of the images, of course. You can also use an image caption. You can delete and use any of the pictures as your thumbnail that will show up in the search results. Here is where you will add images. It's a simple file upload. Accepted on the platform is PNG, JPEG, or GIF files under 5 megabytes. If you're adding a video to your site, make sure to first upload that video to either YouTube or Vimeo. Once uploaded to YouTube or Vimeo, simply copy-paste that link here and click the Save button. Here's an example of the YouTube link that you would copy-paste into this section. It's super simple and will tell your story in a compelling and interactive way. So we do stress that video, whether it's professionally done or something that your staff has put together, it will help connect the donor with the cause that you care about and that they care about. Next is the Thank Donors section. The Thank Donors section is an opportunity for you as an organization to further connect with your donors that donate through your event page. We give you 2 opportunities to further communicate with your donors and show your appreciation as an organization. Just like in the Images and Video tab, here we give you the option to upload a video. It can be short and sweet, and all it has to say is a big thank you to your donors. After a transaction is made to your organization through this page, a donor will see the video and be able to play, as well as share that they've donated to social media. If you choose not to upload a video, there's a standard, just general thank you for donating video that will appear. The other section is in the thank you email section. Every donor, when they're donating to your page for IdahoGives, gets an automatic tax-deductible receipt sent to them at the address entered, the email address, entered at the time that they donate. It's a standard summary email which shows their transaction and who they donated to, as well as that tax-deductible language at the bottom. We give you the opportunity in the Thank Donors tab to add your own little message that will show up at the top of this email to each donor. Just another way to connect with the donors and make each donation feel personable to your specific cause. Next is the Share tab. The Share tab has some great resources for you to use on the event day, prior to the event day, and of course even after the event day, which you can use your page year-round. These buttons are self-explanatory. When you click on them, it just posts your event page to Facebook or Twitter. You can also send an email through this section with the link to your organization page. One great thing for event day activities is the QR code. The QR code is a code that can be read by any smartphone. Each QR code on each organization page is unique. And when a smartphone reads that QR code, it takes a donor directly to your organization page's mobile site and allows them to donate through there. So if you're planning on creating any print materials for the event day, it's always cool to get creative and use this code. The donation widget is a widget that can be embedded on your external website. It's a great resource if you don't have your own payment processor on your external website, and is really easy to customize. And once you're done with the customization, all you have to do is copy paste this HTML code, and you or your website designer can just embed it on the back end of the website in the CMS code. It allows donors to donate directly through your external website through the secure Razoo platform. It also allows up to 3 suggested donation amounts and is really, really simple for donors to use. Please note that this widget, though very great for year-round donations, does not have pre-scheduled donations on it. So if you want someone to pre-schedule a donation for IdahoGives, they'll have to do it directly from your event site, which we're on right now. Another great resource is the donate buttons. These are better suited for your giving event. If you want to embed any of these on your external website, what it's going to do instead of what the widget does is it's going to bring someone back to your site for IdahoGives, which allows them to either schedule a donation prior to the event or on May 1st, donate immediately. The next tab is the Donations tab. The Donations tab is going to be important for you during the event and of course post-event, so you can do all the accounting and reach out and thank all of your donors. What you see right here is by default the month listing of all donation activity. It looks like McPaws hasn't gotten any donations from February to March. That's most likely because they're participating in IdahoGives. So all of their donations are scheduled for May 1st. If you want to change any of the dates to see more or less donation information, just click on the dates. You can choose more or less, then hit filter results. You will get a full record of all donor information, including where they donated from, their name, their address, mailing and email address, the amount donated, and some other important information for you to do metrics. You can export this information once you receive those donations at the bottom of the page. You can't see that export option right now because there's no donations currently showing. Let's see if we can find some. Okay, there we go. Here's the donations report. And then, of course, down here, we can see the download all donation history as a spreadsheet. Also shows a great summary of donations, processing charges, and final donation amounts which will be dispersed. The next tab I'm going to go to in the donations section is the pending donations tab. Looks like McPaws currently doesn't have any pending donations. That means that no one has yet scheduled any donations to occur on May 1st for this event. You can check all pending donations set up before an event in this section. Once May 1st rolls around, which is when the event will begin, these pending donations will disappear from the pending donations section, and that's because they're in queue to be processed early in the wee hours of the event morning. So don't panic if when you visit this part of your page during May 1st, those pending donations aren't there. The next section is the disbursement section. This will be important for you post-event. The disbursement section shows all checks or disbursements that we've, and by we I mean the Razoo Foundation, has sent to your organization post-event. By default, Razoo Foundation will send to P.O. Box 1375 McCall, Idaho 83638, which is most likely the registered address with the IRS. You also have the option as an organization to set up an EFT. An EFT stands for Electronic Funds Transfer. This allows you to, without any additional charges, set up an EFT so that we disperse funds directly to a bank account associated with your organization. It cuts out the snail mail part of things and saves the environment a little bit by allowing Razoo Foundation to not print on paper. And again, it's easy to set up. Make sure you set it up by April 1st. And also make sure that when you're applying to set up this EFT, that it's with a bank account that is associated with your organization. Once we disperse funds to your organization, you can see those funds here and the method which we disperse those funds to you, as well as the amount. If you click on these dates, you'll see a more detailed report of each donation that was batched in that particular disbursement. Excuse me. The next section is the matching grants section. This is great for all organizations participating in IdahoGives. It gives you, as an organization, the opportunity to set up a matching grant and display that for any donors visiting your organization page during the event. It's a pretty simple feature. It allows you to enter the name of the matching grantor. The next section is the notification email. For example, say you have $10,000 matching from Pepsi, which would be fabulous. You want this to show up on your event day, so on May 1st. So you want to make sure that this starts on May 1st at 12 a.m. and of course ends on May 1st at 12 a.m. Matching grants help incentivize donors by letting them know that you have worked hard to get an interested party, whether it be an anonymous or a company, local company, to put up extra funds to match donations that donors give to your page. Once that $10,000 goal is reached, that means people donated $10,000 through your organization page on the event day, there will be a notification email that goes out. If you're working with someone specific at Pepsi, you can put in their email address. I always suggest putting in your email address as an admin. That way you know when that matching grant is complete. Okay, I'm going to go now through what the donation process is for a scheduled donation, and then we'll pause for some questions. If I'm a donor and I've just, here, let me log out to get the full effect. There it is. That's the organization that I want to donate to. I'm on McPaw's event page now. And as a donor, I've maybe scrolled through some pictures. I've read the quick story below the pictures. But really what I want to do is donate. I want to donate $50, treat 4 cats with upper respiratory problems. I've selected $50 in the suggested donation amount section because that's how much I'm willing to donate. As you can see, prior to May 1st, there's this great little message that tells each donor that their donation will be processed for IdahoGives on 5/1/2014. Donors are able to make a one-time donation, a weekly, a monthly, or an annual donation. They're also able to add this donation to their basket and continue on. But I'm not going to donate to multiple organizations today. I'm just going to donate to one. Oops. This step 1 section of the shopping cart is where I'm going to review all my donations. It looks like I've, by accident, tried to donate to McPaw's twice. I'm just going to delete one. Great. Here we repeat the option to donate once, weekly, monthly, or annually. We also give the donor the option to write a little bit of text associated with this donation. That text will show up in the donations report of your organization page. They also have the opportunity to make the donation anonymously. We also want to stress that the donation is scheduled for IdahoGives, just so it's clear in their next steps. When I click Proceed during the Schedule the Donation process, checkout process, I must create a user account in order to schedule this donation. That's because their credit card information has to hang in our system and be securely saved until May 1st, when it will be processed. This is done so that their donation can count for all those fabulous prizes on May 1st, and so that they don't make the mistake of donating beforehand. On the event day, donors do not, I repeat, on the event day, donors do not have to create a user account. The only time that they have to create a user account is if they're scheduling a donation for May 1st. Oops. Now that I've logged into my user account, it's going to let me proceed. And it's going to take me through the standard credit card information. Then, of course, to complete the transaction. I'm going to take a moment now to pause and answer any questions you might have.